Hello, my name is Albertus Abraham Arinathan, and in this video, I'll show you how I analyze global GDP per capita trends using R. First, I'll explain my dataset selection, then walk through key code components and techniques, and finally share the analysis findings and insights. Here is the dataset, and I chose the GDP per capita dataset because it gives a clear picture of how average living standards change over time and across countries. By dividing total output by population, you can fairly compare small and large nations, track long-term trends from 18 onward, and highlight regional differences when combined with continent data. Here is the quick overview of the code. So first, we need to load the necessary libraries. Read Excel let us import Excel file, and write Excel let us export Excel file, while Gapminder brings in our country continent lookup. Then we import the GDP file and set the base year to 2025. The year 2025 will be for our ranking, histograms, and quick stats. For data cleaning, I drop any country rows where the 2025 value is missing. I also trim white space from each country name to ensure clean merges. I also extract the unique country continent pairs from Gapminder and then merge them into our main table, preserving all original rows even if a match fails. Next, I define years as a vector from 1800 to 2100. Then I loop through each of those years column, coercing them from text into numerics. This conversion ensures R sees them as numbers and not strings. Then I pull out the 2025 GDP vector as GDP base. Then I compute its mean, median. This is what it looks like in a console when you run them. This shows us that the GDP per capita in 25 is about 4,531 and its median of 3,930. This custom function, calcgrowth, computes year-over-year growth rates as percentage. If over 20% of the data is missing, it stops and warns us. Otherwise, it returns a vector of length. So in order to apply it across countries, we initialize an empty data frame, a growth, then for each row, extract its full-time series called calgrowth, and if successful, append the results with our write. So if we run it, it will show that over 19,200 countries have growth. Next, we build global trend, really global averages and medians. We loop through each year, compute mean and median across all countries, and then this is what it looks like when we print them in the console. Then we find the top and bottom performance in 2025. We ordered GDP descending, then slice the first 5 and last 5. This is what it looks like in a console. In the top 5, we have Namibia, Jordan, Belize, Ukraine, and Philippines. And in the bottom 5, we have UAE, UK, Uruguay, USA, and Vietnam. Finally, here's the decade summary, which shows average GDP per decade for each continent. This is what it looks like when you run them, and NA means that there is no data for the continent. Here is the visualization of the line chart for global average GDP per capita. This is what it looks like when you run it. And this is the visualization of the histogram. And this is what it looks like when you run it. And here I export the results to Excel. So what I found is that it's worth noting that because we're looking with 2025 figures in real time, some of these numbers, like seeing the UAE, UK, USA, and Uruguay near the bottom, could reflect early estimates or minor miscalculation in the latest data. As the year unfolds and more accurate reports come in, those rankings may shift. In other words, treat the 2025 results as a first draft. They give a useful snapshot, but they're not set in stone until the final data is confirmed.